frank about my sexuality. Of course, my friends and family have known about it for decades. Who you are as a person goes deeper than your sexual orientation or gender identity. But there's no denying the life-shaping force of one's sexuality. Thanks to a lot of activists over the years, being gay has much less of a stigma now than it did in 1966. One thing I know for sure, I wasn't the only comics fan with a minority sexual identity. Fandom reflected the larger society, so every kind of human was a part of that group. And aren't all of us different anyway? Don't all of us feel left out sometimes? Don't a lot of us feel like our dreams might not come true? For me, the way forward took me through a hobby that told stories of heroic super beings, intrepid reporters, enterprising ducks, worthless playboys, and a whole lot more. This is the true story of a boy whose whole world was altered forever at the age of 8, when his sense of wonder was awakened in the pages of a simple 4-color comic book. It's the story of how that hobby led, in the unlikeliest of ways, to the writing career he always wanted. So if you're among the frustrated, there's a message here for you, a message of hope, which is all I had for a long time. Bill Schelly, Seattle, Washington. Chapter 1. More Powerful Than a Locomotive. The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. It is the source of all true art and science. He to whom this emotion is a stranger, who can no longer pause to wonder and stand wrapped in awe, is as good as dead. Albert Einstein. Why was it that no matter how early we got up on the first day of a Shelley family vacation trip, we were always behind schedule? My tall father, Carl, led the way along the sidewalk. "There's the terminal entrance. Hurry," he said. I was too young to discern the inherent irony in such a thing as terminal entrance. We headed toward the blackened granite edifice of the Pittsburgh Railroad Depot, known as Penn Station. My mother, Joanne, fussed to keep us in line. "Come on, Bill. You too, David. Where's Steve?" We were jazzed on kid adrenaline, taking 2 steps for every stride of Dad's long legs. A porter wearing a snappy-looking uniform pushed a dolly full of our luggage behind us. We entered the darkened interior of the massive building. The amplified metallic voice on the public address system twanged with the reverberation born of marble floors and walls. It sounded like the voice of destiny with nasal congestion. "Columbus, Indianapolis, Chicago." To my 8-year-old consciousness, these destinations conjured up images as exotic as Singapore and Rangoon. I had butterflies in the pit of my stomach. I was nearly hairless until you counted my 1/4-inch crew cut of bristling scalp stubble. With my blond hair and fair skin, I looked like a little bald man. My brothers Steve, 10 years old, and Dave, age 5, were similarly shorn. Travel wasn't an exactly informal occasion in 1960. Mum wore a dress, a hat, and heels, and we boys mustered out in neat pants and shirts. Dad was dressed for the office, in suit and tie, because he had to stay behind for work. He'd fly out to join us in Oregon in a week. "Your train is a few minutes late, so we're here in plenty of time," he told Mom as he scanned the big board marked arrivals and departures. They visibly relaxed. Dad showed the porter the tickets with our seat assignments and slipped him a coin. The man wheeled our baggage through the swinging doors to the loading platform. Amid the bustle, the wafting cigarette smoke, and the echoing announcements, a colorful display caught our attention as we made our way toward the waiting area, the terminal newsstand. Within the church-like surroundings, vaulted windows and wooden pews, the newsstand was like a stained-glass window, with its glossy paper covers and pulpy newsprint emblazoned with 4-color printing. It was well stocked with all manner of ephemeral reading matter, newspapers, magazines, paperbacks, puzzle books, and, of course, comic books. The newsie also sold smoking products. His hand reeked of tobacco. Dad turned to us. "Would each of you boys like a comic book to read on the train?" My brothers were quick in making their reading choices. Steve grabbed a Western-themed comic, probably featuring Walt Disney's Davy Crockett. He had only recently given up his coonskin cap.